There's a quiet kind of pain that comes from being too connected, scrolling endlessly through lives that aren't yours, chasing validation in likes and views, while a silent emptiness grows within. In this digital world where attention is currency and comparison is constant, our minds become restless, always reaching, never arriving. But what if peace wasn't found in doing more, but in being less attached? Buddhism teaches that true stillness doesn't come from turning away from the world, but from turning inward. In this journey, we'll rediscover the calm beneath the chaos. Tap into ancient wisdom for the modern soul. If this resonates with you, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more inner peace. We live in an era of infinite access: text, video, photos, reels. The world fits in our palm, but our hearts often feel further away from peace than ever before. According to Buddhist wisdom, attachment leads to suffering. And in the digital age, our greatest attachment is to connection itself. We're wired to check, respond, and scroll, believing it keeps us involved. But what if it's actually disconnecting us from ourselves? There's a parable of a monk who visited a city after years in the mountains. The noise, the chatter, the constant distraction overwhelmed him. People rushed, faces buried in conversations not their own. He returned to the temple and told his master, "The city speaks too loud. I could not hear my breath." His master replied, "Then let the city be your teacher. If you can breathe there, you can breathe anywhere." The story reminds us, inner peace isn't about escaping the noise. It's about learning how to remain present within it. Today, every ping draws us away from the present. We multitask, we swipe, we compare. But Buddhist teachings invite us to anchor in mindfulness, doing one thing with full awareness. Even holding the phone with attention can become a meditation. Try this. For 1 hour, turn off your notifications. Breathe deeply. Look around. Feel the tension of not knowing what's happening online. Notice how your mind resists. That resistance is your teacher. There is no greater thief of peace than the habit of comparing yourself to others. In the endless scroll, we are exposed to highlights of success, beauty, and perfection. It's not reality. It's a carefully curated illusion. The Buddha taught, contentment is the greatest wealth. Yet social media thrives on discontent. It plants seeds of inadequacy. We believe we are not enough. We strive for more not because we need it, but because others seem to have it. Let's revisit a parable. A young disciple was envious of his fellow monk, who meditated with ease and grace. One day, the disciple asked the master, "Why is he better than me?" The master smiled and said, "He is not better. You are simply too busy looking at his light. You've forgotten to tend your own flame." Comparison is blindness. It draws our focus outward when our true work is inward. Scrolling, liking, swiping, they're not neutral actions. They're engineered experiences. Every click releases a shot of dopamine, momentarily satisfying but deeply exhausting. Buddhism teaches us about the cycle of craving, or tanha. We seek pleasure, we cling to it, then suffer when it fades. Social media thrives on this cycle. Keep watching, keep craving. There's a story of a man who drank salty water thinking it would quench his thirst. The more he drank, the thirstier he became. This is the digital world, full of salt when what we crave is sweetness. To break this pattern, mindfulness is key. Ask yourself, why am I reaching for my phone? Is it boredom, anxiety, loneliness? Can you sit with those feelings rather than soothe them with distraction? Even 5 minutes of conscious breathing can interrupt the craving loop. Try a practice. Before opening any app, take 3 deep breaths. Feel your body. Ask, is this what I need or what I'm used to? Peace requires space. But in a world of open tabs and constant pings, space is hard to come by. Buddhist monks design their lives around simplicity. Intentional rituals, limited possessions, and silence. You don't need to become a monk, but you can bring that intention to your digital life. Create rituals. Maybe your mornings are phone-free. Maybe your meals are moments of silence. Build sacred boundaries around the time you spend online. Make your mind a temple, not a train station. A lay practitioner once asked a monk, "How do you protect your peace?" The monk answered, "I close the doors that don't need to stay open." Stillness isn't about silence outside. It's about quiet inside. You can be surrounded by noise, notifications, and chaos, and still be calm, because stillness is a choice, a practice, a return. There's a beautiful Zen story of a master meditating near a busy market. A student asked, "How can you concentrate here?" The master opened his eyes and said, "Because the silence I seek is not around me. It's within me." We wait for the world to quiet down before we begin. But Buddhist wisdom says, begin now. Begin where you are. You don't need to quit social media. You need to quit being lost in it. Every time you pause, breathe, and return to the moment, you are practicing nirvana in daily life. At the heart of overwhelm lies the ego's hunger. To be seen, to be validated, to be someone. Social media magnifies this desire, offering endless mirrors where we seek proof of our worth. But in Buddhism, the self is an illusion. The ego, or atta, is not who we truly are. The more we cling to identity, I am successful, I am important, the more we suffer when that identity is threatened or ignored. There's a Zen tale of a monk who spent years building a reputation as a great teacher. One day, a stranger came to the monastery and didn't recognize him. The monk felt insulted, but his master whispered, "If a shadow vanishes when the light changes, was it ever real?" When we chase identity online, we become shadows of ourselves. We forget the still, silent presence beneath the roles we perform. Can you let go of the need to prove anything? Most people believe their thoughts are truths. But Buddhist wisdom teaches that thoughts are just passing clouds in the sky of consciousness. Impermanent, random, and often untrue. In the world of content overload, our minds are constantly stimulated. Thoughts come faster than ever. Worries, judgments, comparisons. But when we identify with every thought, we become exhausted. A student once asked the Buddha, "How can I stop my mind from running wild?" The Buddha smiled and replied, "Let it run, but do not run with it." The secret to inner peace isn't controlling your thoughts, it's disidentifying from them. Social media amplifies the chatter. It whispers, "You're missing out," or "You're falling behind." But these are thoughts, not commands. Instead of reacting, observe. Next time you see something online that stirs anxiety, pause. Ask, "Is this true? Or just a thought?" Then breathe. Overwhelm begins when the mind is unchecked. Peace begins when awareness returns. Speed has become our default. Fast feeds, fast replies, fast lives. But speed doesn't equal wisdom. And in the rush, we miss the essence of life. Buddhism values sati, mindful awareness. Moving slowly doesn't mean doing less. It means being present with each act. There's a story of a monk who took hours to make a simple bowl of rice. When asked why, he said, "Because each grain is sacred. Each motion is life." What if we brought that same presence to our scrolling, our posting, our reacting? Try this practice. The next time you open your phone, do it slowly. Feel the weight of the device. Be conscious of your fingers. Notice your breath. Bring awareness into the smallest motion. You may find that what once overwhelmed you loses its grip when you slow down enough to witness it. In slowing down, we begin to wake up. The modern monk may not wear robes or live in a forest. He may simply live with intention, in a world full of noise, choosing what to allow in. Digital minimalism isn't about deleting everything. It's about designing your digital space the same way you would a sacred room, with care, with purpose. There's a Buddhist story of a man who kept collecting furniture for his hut. One day, the roof collapsed under the weight. A passing monk said, "You built a temple of clutter when you only needed space for silence." Likewise, we fill our phones with endless apps, subscriptions, channels, thinking they serve us, while they secretly overwhelm us. Start small. Clean your feed. Unfollow noise. Keep only what nurtures. Create digital rituals. Maybe 15 minutes of mindful content, followed by quiet. Turn consumption into meditation. What does it mean to be truly here? In Buddhist practice, presence is not a luxury, it is liberation. The ability to fully experience this moment without distraction is the core of Satori, awakening. Social media pulls us into past and future. We relive memories, anticipate likes, dwell on what we missed, but life is only ever unfolding now. A student once asked a Zen master, "What is the way to peace?" The master poured tea, slowly, deliberately, then whispered, "When you drink, just drink. When you walk, just walk. When you scroll, ask why." Presence is not passive. It's a courageous return to what's real. Put your phone down when you're with someone. Look them in the eyes. Taste your food. Hear the wind. Let each sensation ground you. You're not missing out. You're waking up. What's one way you'll choose presence over distraction today? Comparison is the silent thief of joy. And social media, for all its connection, thrives on the illusion that others are living better, brighter, and more beautiful lives. But in Buddhism, the root of suffering is tanha, craving, clinging. And one of its most subtle forms is craving the life someone else appears to have. A wise monk once said, "When you compare a flower to another, you forget that each was born from different soil, kissed by different winds, and grown under different suns." There's a parable of a traveler who visited 3 gardens. In the first, the rose felt ashamed of not being as tall as the tree. In the second, the tree bent, wishing to be delicate like the rose. In the third, the gardener simply let each grow in its own grace, and there beauty bloomed freely. When we scroll, we often forget that we are seeing highlight reels, curated smiles, filtered success, and rehearsed perfection. But your path is your own. It's sacred, and it cannot be measured against another. Each time you feel the ache of not enough while online, pause. Take a breath. Say silently, "May I be kind to myself. May I honor my journey." Because peace begins when comparison ends. The world of social media is built on a single engine: desire. Desire for more, for better, for newer. And when we constantly desire what we don't have, we forget to love what we do. Buddhism teaches Santuthi, the joy of contentment. It's not about giving up dreams. It's about appreciating the step you're on, even while moving forward. There's a Zen teaching of a man who was offered gold but chose a simple wooden bowl. When asked why, he smiled, "Because it holds what I need, and that is enough." When you scroll and see others with bigger homes, shinier achievements, or seemingly perfect lives, ask yourself, what is truly enough for me? Happiness doesn't come from having more. It comes from needing less. Try this practice. Once a day, list 3 things that already bring you peace. They can be simple: a warm cup of tea, the softness of your bed, the quiet before dawn. Contentment isn't a place you reach. It's a choice you make, moment by moment. In the noise of constant updates, notifications, and trending sounds, silence has become rare. Yet in Buddhism, silence isn't emptiness. It's fullness. It's presence. The Buddha often answered questions not with words, but with silence. His quiet was not avoidance. It was wisdom. In that stillness, the answers arose from within. There's a tale of a disciple who kept asking his master to explain enlightenment. After days of silence, the disciple grew frustrated. Then the master lit incense, watched it burn in silence, and said, "Now you understand. In the modern world, we fear silence. We fill it with scrolling, music, noise. But silence is where we meet ourselves. It's where the truth whispers. Try this. Each day, spend 10 minutes with no phone, no music, no input. Just you and your breath. Let the silence be your teacher. It may be uncomfortable at first, but over time, it becomes sacred. Because sometimes the most powerful message is the one that doesn't need to be said. Much of our overwhelm stems from our clinging to opinions, identities, and digital footprints. But in Buddhism, letting go is the gateway to freedom. There's a famous parable of a man crossing a river. He builds a raft and safely reaches the other side. But instead of leaving the raft behind, he carries it on his back, saying, "It helped me once. It must help me always." We do the same with our digital past, old posts, outdated beliefs, arguments we can't release. We carry them, even when they no longer serve us. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring what was and releasing the need to hold on. Go through your digital spaces. Delete what no longer feels like you. Unfollow accounts that stir resentment or pressure. Let go of the need to respond to every message or justify every choice. Each release is a return to peace. In the end, the journey through overwhelm isn't about escaping the world. It's about returning to yourself, your true self, the one beyond likes and follows, the one that exists in stillness. Buddhist wisdom points to Nibbana, a mind free from craving and agitation. And while we may not all become monks, we can walk toward that peace with small steps each day. There's a quiet tale of a man who searched for peace everywhere. Temples, teachings, travels. But one night, exhausted, he sat beneath a tree and simply breathed. In that breath, he felt the vastness of the sky within him. That stillness was home. It had always been. If you've been feeling lost in the noise, know this: you are not broken. You are simply tired of being pulled away from your center. Come back to the breath, to the body, to now. Social media can be a tool, but it can't define your worth. You are not your profile. You are a presence itself. What's one small practice that brings you back to your true self?